Okay, good evening. Welcome to Love Your Neighbor Town Hall Gathering. Wow, I think we've been going on. We're in the new almost a year. We're in the new year, and yeah, those of you that are watching us live or joining us later, watching the replay, this is where we come together to collaborate. We started this right after the pandemic happened, just with the desire to navigate this transformation together and also share with the world a lot of what King's Counsel and Trust Family Office has been building and creating and supporting the family office members to more of the general public. So we have a lot of great things. I'll take a minute to share while you're giving a couple of updates. I'll get the box together. So those of you that are not a part of our treasure box, is what I call it, where we have lots of resources. We'll do a quick sneak peek of that. And this is not something that we're charging for. This is the give back or pay it forward. And all that we need is just your email address and to be able to add you to the account, and you'll be able to access the community from there. So while I'm looking that up, Dale, do you have any updates you want to share?
Well, only so far as it continues to be a question of, what is a family office and why are we here doing this with everyday people? And the last time I checked is we all are a part of a family somehow, some way. Mom, a dad, an aunt, an uncle, brother, sister, you get the idea. It's not a function of a concept that is reserved for the ultra wealthy. The ultra wealthy, while they may have a lot of money, they have very real world issues, just like every one of us. Parents, they're aging. People die. People get born. There's disabilities. Children with challenges, be they physical, mental, or otherwise. Education nowadays. How to work from home, remotely, all of the dynamics that, candidly, money can't solve. And that's the kind of thing that we're working on here. If you want to look at this, kind of more conventionally, what is a family office, I would suggest go into Wikipedia, get a good sense. There's many different versions, be it virtual, single family, multifamily. Many of them are household names in bigger, shall we say, multifamily household names like the, say, Morgan Stanley or Merrill Lynch as are more common ones. But the single families tend to be matriarchal, patriarchal, multi-generational in their structure. There's a lot of things going on, and because they have business, because they have assets for some time, they've been able to bring in talent, specialized talent like myself and a handful of others on my team, to be able to do things more specifically that Main Street, Wall Street just simply cannot do. Now, so why do I say all that? Because many of those things we brought here. The springtime last year, when all of this went into motion, was an equalizer for everyone. Every business is having to reinvent themselves. Every family is having to look at, especially if they have children, is to, what is this education thing going to look like? Every school in America is going to reinvent itself in terms of what it teaches, how it teaches, to whom it teaches, simply because, we're not going back to what we were. So we've been virtual for a long time. Shannon thought it would be a good idea as part of the Business Acceleration Network to get together. Let's put our heads together and see how we can navigate this virtual minefield, it seems like. And together, we'll thrive. That's what we look to do here. We don't have all the answers, but together, a lot of us have information that we can share here that we all can benefit from. And that's the kind of composium of resources that Shannon's getting ready to highlight in the box. We've used a cloud for some time to make this thing accessible with a reliable internet connection anywhere you have one, anywhere in the world. And so that's what we've got here. Many of these things we share with our clients and their families to help get their house organized, to be ready for it in case of emergency, not to be the prepper of gloom and doom, but to be prudent about the sign of the times and be prepared. It's better to need it and not have it than, well, or need it, have it, not need it.
Yes, there we go.
And the other way around, sorry. Anyhow, with that, I'm glad you all are here. Whoever's checking in, if you haven't made yourself known in terms of access to the box, please drop us an email, be it the Facebook, I think this is, or in here if you're joining a little bit lately.
You can just send it
later
to,
after the fact. I don't know how this works.
yeah, you can send it to info@businessaccelerationnetwork.com. Or again, just, you can even, if you're following this, put it in the comment.
I'll hand it over to you. You do this.
You will, okay.
Yeah.
So,
I passed the stick.
so our intention is we'll just share some of the stuff here, and then we love to open it up and hear from each of you. And if there's certain things that you need help with, we want to help navigate that with you. So in the box, this is what it looks like. This is set up with box.com. It is free. You get a free account. You can see all of the recordings that we have done. One of the recordings that tends to be the most popular one that we say, please go and look at, is this number 2. Also the last one, we did kind of a recap of that. But the second one, we do go through 90 days, love your neighbor, kind of what this stands for, how to prepare for certain things. We also have one here for the family love letter, funding resources. So there's a lot of great things here that you can go back and take a peek at. In here, we also have, this is where our community is. And again, we are not charging for you to be a part of this community. We just ask that you show up and share and be vulnerable and really just love your neighbor, live these principles and practice them. We do hope to inspire you to take action in some of these areas that we talk about. But this is one of the first ones. So here you'll see some of the people that we work with. So like tonight, I know we have Dr. Bob here. And if you see Dr. Bob, wait, oh, right here, Bob Levine. Yes, you could. So in here, you are able to create a new folder right there. And then you're able to upload anything about you. You can, if you hit the bookmark, you can put in your website. You can put in your one pager. Dr. Bob, I know, speaks at a corporate level, helping people eliminate pain and stress. And so there's some various information in here, even put in his clinical trials. We have Ceci, who's here with Anytime Travel. And so this is a great opportunity to get to know each other. And what I do when I'm thinking about who do I know or any type of referrals, I like to come here first and say, who can I refer? For example, Keith Leon is an incredible book publisher. So there might be things that we're looking for within the community that's great. I love showing Dale's profile because this is one of the things that they do at King's Counsel and Trust is they help you fill out this fact sheet. And I think this is really beautiful because he gets into being able to get to know each other. Some of you may have heard of Enneagrams, the Myers-Briggs indicator. There's a lot of things that in the family office, he has, what do you call them? Assessments, right? Is that the right word? Personal assessments to get to know each other. And also the big thing is to get to know ourselves. And so this is really a wonderful thing. If anybody wants to, contribute or create, be a part of this, please ask. But you can see what are some of the things that he likes to volunteer for. What is he contributing to the community? There's a lot of great things here. Anything you want to add on this?
No, looks like I need to update it.
Looks like you need to update it. Okay, great.
It's a great time of year, by the way. It's still January. As a standing resolution, everybody should have updated their profile, their insurance plans, anything that you've signed your signatures to, have an inventory of that, and your retirement plans, beneficiary plans. All of that should be done. If you haven't already done it by the end of last year, at least by this year, and put that away in case of your emergency. Why that's important now is because many are getting ready, if you're a business owner, to face the tax time crunch. So all of this stuff that you need to kind of update that is going to be somewhere on the dinner table or the breakfast table, if you're like my mom, and with stacks of this stuff floating around. So please don't let the effort go to waste while it's out and about. All of this is a good time to get organized.
Yeah, and so another piece that's really been helpful for me on this journey is looking at the In Case of Emergency and Family Love Letter. And so the In Case of Emergency there's a lot of wonderful things in here. There's various checklists, that box that you want to have ready when you need to get up and go, and possible disasters to think about. So I know a number of you live in Florida. We're kind of used to planning for hurricanes, and we've had no power and various things like that. However, when I went through this list, there was a lot here that I didn't think about. I mean, even just basic phone numbers and some of these, I love this. This has really helped me get some things together and have it in one spot so that I can work with it. I do know with King's Counsel and Trust, you actually give us all, like I have a virtual office space, and you guys are kind of this is stored in my virtual office space, but this is where I've put my passport. This is where I've put important legal documents. This is also where you can put your family love letter that I'll talk about next. But what's great is they become like your fiduciary holder of this information if you need it. So
think of it like a virtual, so we say, deposit box or a vault, as the case may be. These will be scanned, certified, notarized copies, as the case may be, in full color and true size, should all be placed here. Think of it also like if you had to back up your hard drive to your computer, and you lost maybe the little stick or the other storage. Heaven forbid you lose everything else that's on your hard drive. All of this we provide our individual and family members as a part of our packages, and make that available with all the checklists. And we start out with a structure of at least 10 folders with which to get you started and get organized. So it's not just here's a box of paper and you don't know what's in it. Most good shipping companies will actually come with a packing slip. A good folder will have that packing slip right on top as opposed to what's in it. We provide the structure because, I don't know about you, if something were to happen and I need to get in touch with somebody on your behalf, power's out, somebody got in a car accident, somebody died, heaven forbid, I got to know where to look and which folder very, very quickly. So whether it's myself or an assistant, another trustee, we have the basic structure there for a reason, so we can find things when we need to and not get stuck and caught up in the weeds. Back to you.
I also love that we're focused on both business and personal. And so here's some of the things to consider when you're looking at your business and how you're, what do you need for that also with the In Case of Emergency. So in here, we invite each of you to take a moment and look. And if you haven't printed out the Love Your Neighbor, this is really why we're here and what we stand for. And I would love today when we share to hear from each of you kind of what does Love Your Neighbor mean to you? Because when I got involved in this and to read this, it really, I got to see things that I am currently doing and things that I might be able to do and make a bigger difference. So, are there ways we're creating more jobs? Is there a way we can provide better service, community investments, local prosperity? Dale, you want to talk just a minute on any of this before I move on to the next piece?
For anyone that has a business, we've just taken what an operations manual typically is, that document that everybody might read one time and get stuck on a shelf. We've made it much more personal. And as a matter of how we do things, who we prefer to do business with is not necessarily customers, but more as partners. We prefer to use more covenantal language versus contractual language, as an example. And for any of those that care to look at just one of our many policies where we where we make an attempt at embodying the good news of the good book in practical application and operational administrative language. For anyone that understands what it is to love your neighbor, I can assure you, you wouldn't be outsourcing or you're manufacturing or some other contract to an overseas organization until and unless you've checked your local, municipal, be it county, maybe regional areas, who can benefit first at home. If we blow up to what's going on in the past administration, going after China, cutting off, making America great again, is because many of our corporations have outsourced your neighbors to someone willing to work for a whole lot less money and manufacture things for a whole lot less than we can right here at home. How bad does it have to be when we have to go to the grocery store to buy an apple because it's cheaper to get it from Publix than it is from our own tree? But that's where we've gotten. That's not sustainable. So here we've got more than a dozen different tenets of how to bring it home, how to keep it real, where we live, work, worship, and play. And for me, I don't know where you want to live, but how cool is it to be able to have all of that? You can have it all, but that takes a little bit of thought, a little bit of insights and planning, the stuff that every entrepreneur really hates to do, but it's really the most important thing you do before stepping foot on the battlefield. These are some of the things here that we provided clues with which to connect the dots and recreate and perhaps redeem your business for something that has much more local impact where you live, work, worship, and play. Back to you.
So the other piece, and I just want to share part of why I love doing this with you, is because we have different energies and we have a lot of synergy.
That's good.
And so I know for me, I'm still outsourcing because it's where I'm at in my business. So I know I've had one individual that I work closely with, and some people feel. And I'm not trying to justify her. I just want to know that wherever you're at in your business, if you're at a point where you can only afford to hire somebody in the Philippines, as long as you're taking care of them and you're doing good and that piece, you have my blessing at least, because I know that that's been the catalyst. Sometimes we have to take a little step to be able to go to the next step to hire people here locally. But I do love keeping it home, but there's sometimes where it's gotten tight. And I've had to, outsource and work with other people. So, any 2 cents on that?
No, it's close to a United States territory. So.
The Philippines.
There, Guam. We've got Puerto Rico. Hawaii. We're one of the last ones. Alaska to join the union. It's not just United Contiguous States, but also those that are strategic territories. If you can't get it where you are, try to at least help make America great again. Because if we don't do that first, we've got this energy that will bleed out. It may not be in a year, it might not be in 4 years, but it will bleed. The very taxing authority, you see, that has created what made big cities what they are. Unfortunately, they don't have a very long lifespan because the very tax code that gives them the incentive to make it here, the profits are exported out. People don't live there. People will spend their money where they live in the suburb, and or if it's corporate, that profit is exported to Wall Street. Thermodynamically, scientifically, the limit of that is death. And we're only beginning to see what's happened. Look at Michigan, great industrial state that it was, and Detroit in automakers is next to dead. Baltimore is going through that. Many cities are having to recreate themselves because the very policies that made them great could not sustain themselves.
So I just want to add that even though you keep saying make America great, this is not a political thing. This is not, because I know that there's a certain branding around that, and I just want people to know that that that's not what this is about. This is wherever you are, this is, we're here to find what we have in common and help each other with what's in common. I'm always a little nervous when people say that, because people tend to label that as a certain team. And so this is not an us and them team. This is an all-in-one team. You're meaning that as not a brand, but just as a reference to what we all want.
Yeah, I think great branding just takes what's obvious and puts it in your face with some kind of spin to it. But before there was that, I feel you.
Yeah, I don't want to,
I was an American. You were an American. We can say make Florida great, but then how do we leave Paul
out
of the
and
equation?
Paula, the two Pauls.
Yeah, Orly, she's in New York.
So I just want people that are hearing that statement, because you've said it a few times, to know that this is not, we're not picking teams here. So anything else on that before I move to the last thing and we open it up?
No. I don't mean to offend anyone. And if any one of you would like to have a discussion offline, I'd welcome that, to go deeper on any of the, I'll just say, which could sound like soapbox little preaching there for a few minutes. We can take that offline. Happy to.
All right, we'll put your info in the chat also. So this is the one piece that I'm really partial to, because when we first started this, my father passed. And my father did not leave a will. And so we didn't have a ton of things to go through, but it was still in that place of, we're dealing with so much sadness and grief and, going through stuff and dealing with family, and everybody has different inputs. And there was just so much going on that had he taken the time to do his family love letter and actually review it with us ahead of time, there wouldn't have been so much unknown and places where it was, we're having to make decisions and decipher through what's going on. And so this has been something that I'm really passionate about. And I feel like if you have not done this yet, please, please, please take time to do this. It's very, I don't want to say it's simple, but it can be, and it just takes that commitment. Even if you put an hour a week on it until it gets done, it's very, very powerful, and it gets you having a dialogue, because the idea is you complete this, and then if you don't work with KCT and have somebody come in and facilitate it, you facilitate it with your family, with your loved ones. This gives them the opportunity to hear from you your wishes, but then also for them to ask any questions of what's important. And there's so many things here. I mean, it's like even Social Security numbers, when people pass, if they have their wallet on them or things on their physical body, you may not get that, they may not get that back for some time. And so there's a lot of factors. And so just please spare your loved ones. I used to think, oh, I'm young, I'm going to be around till I'm 70 or 80. My dad was really, really young, and we just never know. And with what's happening in the world with COVID and some of the elements that are happening, this is an important gift. And so I just had a surgery, and I was so amazed. I went through this with my children, and it was really beautiful, because I could tell that they had this sense of understanding, but also they just asked great questions. They contributed some great things. And I felt like going into that surgery, we were all on the same page. Even though I knew I would be fine when I came out, this brought our family closer together and really put together a plan if something happened. So that is the family love letter.
But make no mistake, it's not the end all. It's a starting point. It's a starting point to bring people together. It's a starting point for secession in terms of personal success, if for no other reason. Because without secession, there is no success. Many professional practices build their business around first name, last name ministry, first name, last name law firm. You get the idea. There's a license or a lot of letters after their name. Without secession, when they stop working, it dies. They've done a lot of great work while they're alive, but it dies. So without the books, without the tapes, without education, the training, the trainer for the network, leaving, putting up a store for your children's children, as it said. I mean, what are we doing? Why are we here? If we're not supposed to leave it better off than we found it, we're just wasting time. This is a tool to help redeem the time, get organized, and really get everybody on the same page why mom and dad are here, or why grandmom and dad are here, and or something the kids can actually feel strongly about, because this younger generation right now, they're a little lost, mostly because they don't have a lot of guidance. Where are they going to get their guidance from? Who are they going to listen to? If not you, I don't know. But that's our future. And I think it starts in your home, personally. And I'm glad you got the benefit of having to do that yourself, if for no other reason than to feel good to have, a limited medical power of attorney in the event something went sideways.
Yeah, all of that.
It was a wonderful discussion.
Yeah, and I still need to take it deeper. There's still more to do. That's what was great. It was like, it got me to, I think this was my second time. I filled it out the first time, then I actually went through a lot more and got feedback. So it's really powerful. And the last few things, well, why you brought up our young generation, we do have a future leaders group. We are accepting applications for that. We do sponsor and work with, and we're also looking for sponsors of young entrepreneurs or just young adults that are trying to navigate what's going on and their way. And so this has been wonderful to see them get the support they need, whether it be with business ideas. We have, we have a single father and helping him navigate and connect with getting a new job. And so giving them that mentor support that's other than their parents, because a lot of times they don't want to listen to their parents. They'd rather listen to, and connect with other people. We've got a really neat community of future leaders. So if you are interested in that, please email info@businessacceleratonnetwork.com and just put in future leaders and we'll send you the link to the application. So just a couple more things. There's a lot of money stuff in here to help people navigate what's going on. I love this, take your work to home, what you need to work from home. So, this is like thousands and thousands of dollars of stuff to help people navigate what's happening right now. And so I'm grateful you guys are here and able to share and learn with that. And so we have, great. So we want to hear from you. Yes, Ceci, I'm with you on that one. Are we going to talk a little bit more about the Living Trust, a single cryptocurrency account, MA, required a full page of passwords, and know your customer information? So Paul will have to hear a little bit about that.
If I could, just plug in tomorrow's Leaders Today. In a recent social gathering, that actually is a resounding, hot topic for a lot of youngsters right now. Cryptocurrencies, crypto assets, they've seen the writing on the wall. They're full of student debt in one form or another. And so I believe that we're going to be getting a new group come together with a bunch of young people around the topic. I'm not saying that the adults can't sit in, but this is for our younger men primarily. I guess we could make an exception for women too. I don't know how that works. Anyhow,
we have other women that can support.
On the topic of crypto, it's a hot topic. I do it. Part of my specialty is alternative assets, and just if any of that applies to your kids or nephews, as the case may be, just please get in touch with Shannon, and we'll let you know when the next discussion is going to be there.
I have to say something here because our son Charlene's and my son Sean, who's 16 in 11th grade, he's a part of the group, and I mean, it's amazing. It's such an opportunity for young men to sit in the presence of Dale and learn. He's got so much to offer. And, can you imagine what it would have been like if we were 16 and sitting there listening to this stuff, what we would know now. So it's been phenomenal for Sean. He loves it, and I think the size of the group could expand quite easily. And so all of us should identify really quality kids who want to make something of themselves and get them in this group, because it's quite amazing. Thank you, Dale.
Thank you, sir. Good testimony.
We love having him. He shows up and he gets it done and he contributes. And that's what's so beautiful, is even though we're sharing wisdom, they also get to support each other, and there's a nice family feeling.
What's great about that, for less than $100,000 at Sean's age, by the time he's 50, okay, I don't know about any of y'all that may be listening in else, outside of this group. By the time he's 50, he's already worth 7 figures in today's dollars. So what that's going to look like, by the time he actually is 50, and that's the point. Time is on their side. If they figure this thing out, because they don't teach this stuff in regular school, and I'm just saying they do not do it. And don't take my word for it. Robert Kiyosaki's been saying that for a long time. Rich Dad, Poor Dad guy. Number one rule in that book, in terms of cash flow. Everybody's read the book, but nobody follows the advice. And that's about how simple it is. Rule number 1, stop working for money. Money is supposed to work for you. Let's learn how to do that. That's what's going on at these in these discussions. Sean at 16, he's going to get that. By the time he's 18, don't be surprised if he has not just one business, but potentially 3 or more. You see, because every millionaire in this country statistically has 95% of this one thing in common. Can you guess what that is? Not to put you on the spot.
They have one thing in common.
95% of self-made millionaires have one thing in common.
They had mentors.
Well, that's true. On the topic of cash flow, it's called multiple streams of income.
Okay.
If you have a job, you just got one. So for any of those that have jobs, what are your other 2, 3, 5, 7, as the case may be? That's the kind of stuff that we're talking about. And that's exciting. Now that may be why I've got my hand in a lot of projects, but suffice to say, if you've got younger folks in your family, at least once removed, and you can give a good edification as to who they are, what they're coming for, why they're coming, we'd love to have them, if nothing else, to show up and be present. And it's going to test them. I don't mind telling you, because when I was a young man, at whether it was 16 or 20 something, Saturday at noon, I wasn't meeting people. I was watching football games, might have had a hangover. I was going to the beach. I was probably doing a lot of things, but I wasn't working on my future. And I certainly wasn't doing it in a group of peers that really wanted to make a difference. So that's going to separate the men from the boys. We're very pleased, though, that Sean, in this case, is one of those that's kind of stuck it out. And anyway, please pass the word along. We'd love to meet him.
And Nicholas, who's joined us a few times here. So
well, even in this group too.
Yeah. All right.
Can I ask a question real quick?
Yes.
What is like the age range for that group?
So we have taken, I think Sean, did he start when he was 13 or 14? Yeah. So a lot of it, Paula, is based upon maturity and desires. I don't want to turn away a young man if he's 11 and you know what I mean? Like he's on fire, he's willing to listen, be present. Like I look at somebody like Sean, who's very mature. I think even when he was younger, he probably could have showed up. Older wise, we like to be around 28, but we actually have a 33, 34-year-old who acts like he's about 23. No, I'm just kidding. He's wonderful. But to us, he comes in and he's also a mentor, but he's got a business, he's got business drive, and he has never really had mentors or people to support him. So if you look at the application, Paula, it may say like 13 or 14 to 26, 27. If it's, a little bit outside of that, we just got to talk to them and see if it's a good fit and what their commitments are, and we'll be inclusive.
Okay, great. Okay, thanks.
Perfect. So I put the application there. I'll also put that in the Facebook, and we would love to have any of them involved. So we're going to open this up to talk about you, and if there's any special desires that you have or successes you want to celebrate. And I did want to bring in, if that's okay, unless there's another theme you wanted to hit on, the love your neighbor.
Sure.
Okay. Is there anything else that you thought was important?
Glad the presidential hunting season is over with and we can get back to work.
Okay, so
Oh, that whole mess is $1 billion industry between ads and events and this, that, and the other. Just, it's kind of like if you don't like football, you wait till football gets over, golf season starts. It's nice and quiet. It's outdoors. Listen to the birds, the flowers in the springtime. Just different folks, different strokes.
January in San Diego,
Yeah, something like that.
and then of course we're preparing for Super Bowl, and then it's March Madness, and then it never stops. So
It's gotten there.
awesome. So if you'll just, the normal updates that we do, but if you can share as part of your share this evening, what does love your neighbor mean to you? And how does that look like for you in this environment? So who would like to go first? Ceci, I knew you were going to go first.
You knew.
Yeah.
I wanted to go first, but I couldn't unmute in time, but that's okay.
Well, she might pick you to go next, Bob.
Okay. Yeah, I had to leave early, so I just wanted to say that.
Okay.
Well, hello everyone. I would like to thank you. I think this is the first time that I am in the meeting that you guys go with a whole explanation of love thy neighbor and purpose, and also understanding a little bit more what Dale offers as packages. So now it got me curious about what are those packages about, if they will be something for me or for someone that I could recommend to use those. So I guess that's what the link mentioned, that I hear sometimes that you put Dale's calendar or something like that. So that was good for me to hear. I wanted to tap in the conversation towards the end of this talk. You talk about the young leaders, so I'll have a couple of thoughts and then we can answer. One thought is about the young leaders. The second thought is about I'm just exhausted of Zoom. Seems like today everybody and their body scheduled things for today. At least in my agenda. I had my phone, my iPad, my laptop, and my iMac. Yeah, I'm a Mac girl. Everything was. I had the ASTA, Association of Travel, giving a brief about COVID. I had Alexa Livas, badass female women entrepreneur. I had Tony Robbins that came in with an extra day that it was unexpected. And then we had another travel industry, European suppliers talking there. It was noise after noise. And I was telling myself, why am I doing this? Why am I thinking that I'm going to be listening to all three things at the same time? But I think I'm Wonder Woman, and I did it. I grasped here and there. I know not perfect, but I was there, and I can watch the replay. Just one little thing it stick, and I thought to bring it to tonight, is that in one of the talks somebody says from contact to contract. Did anybody heard that expression?
I like it.
From contact to contract. The only difference is the R, and the R is for relationships. I love that one. Contact, contract, relationship is in between. And I know that made me thought of all of you guys, because we are here, and bottom line is about relationships and helping others. So that was something I wanted to bring it. So the young professionals, I have two boys with absolutely zero interest on anything entrepreneurial. not I don't want to say zero interest, because my older son from time to time does tell me that he will be a millionaire and he's gonna have his own thing. Right now he works, and he is just um, not interested in anything I send to him. And when you just said sometimes kids need to hear from other person, so I was wondering, should I just look the other way, or do you guys suggest anything that I could do trying to get my kids, my is 23 and 17.
So
Any
what,
difference in
one of
this?
the things that Dale does is gets them looking at their vision and their why. And so even though we emphasize on the young entrepreneurs, there is that place of how to create your future. So if you we're neighbors, so you're always welcome to come by if you wanted to do a meet and greet. I know that was really helpful for some of the young men that were there to be able to just on a more casual basis show up. But you can also let them know that you've invested a lot of time and money into a community, and they've offered a scholarship. And if this is something that they would be interested in, that it's
I have not with this group, but with another that also was kids mentorship. But I don't know. I guess I think I like the idea of the casual. As long as there's pizza involved, I can bring them over.
yeah. So let's do something like that, Ceci, because then they can. I know this all got started by a conversation in our living room with my son's friend Justin, and it grew from that space. And I know once Sean and Bob's boys met Dale, it just made it a little easier for them to connect.
I love it. I remember seeing Bob's kids in the Business Acceleration Summit, and I love what you guys are doing for the younger. So that's awesome. That's really awesome. Just a quickly win is that I actually started again with my favorite coach of all times, Joyce White Nelson. Now Joyce Lean. I forgot how's her new name, right? And
Joyce,
I
Joyce,
can. She I think she dropped the Nelson,
yes,
right? So it is just for coaching. You really have to. It's like dating, you meet people, you match, you don't match. And Joyce and I simply, she just perfect. She always says, opens my ideas, and I'm very very happy to start over. And yeah, I feel very centered, very very we had a big breakthrough in even our first meeting. No, actually it was in the second meeting. That's what she's so intuitive, because the first meeting was great, but she knew something was missing, and she called me out of the schedule. Says, "You want to do this quickly?" Yeah, sure. Oh my God, it was just a huge breakthrough right there. And I was so happy. I had all my notes. I went back to my agenda, no computers. I'm writing it down now, and happy. I'm very happy that things are moving that direction. And I think it's great, because now I'm actually feeling a little down in the travel industry with all this new requirement of the international PCR coming back home. So it's just the wave is almost impossible. So good. I'm glad I'm focusing on something else. Thank you.
Thank you, Ceci.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pick Dr. Bob right here.
Before you go, Dr. Bob, anyone that may, I would offer this because Bob did this too before his kids got involved. He actually sat in, I think it was against the rules at the time, but he audited the course just to make sure, this guy Dale wasn't full of hot air. And after that, he kind of turned over the kids, and, he knew that whoever was driving at least knew what they were doing. So
Yeah, it was easy. It was an easy thing to do, Dale. I mean, really, it was great to hear you speak. I wanted to attend every week, and I can't believe that sometimes my kids miss one. It's like, what are you, crazy? You're gonna miss one? Don't do that.
But so to the point is, we have a lot of these recorded. So if anyone has one, depending on maybe how old or young someone may be, you could maybe tap into one. I'll leave that to you. We need to review it to make sure it's appropriate, but if that could help you, because it doesn't matter if you're young as Gabriel at 7 years old and all of his cash is in silver right now, to the 30 plus something or other, where I can write a letter of a recommendation and provide my own, recommendation for job placement and so on and so forth. Whatever I can do to the degree that I know, these young men, um, I just give, and I don't have any sons of my own. So all of this is, all of y'all are kind of my extended family, brother, sister, aunt, uncle. I'm Uncle Dale. Many of you have kids, and that's how I feel when I visit. So it's really special for me to show up and just be a good demonstration of what I believe a man should be in this great country of ours. So back to you, dear.
Real quick, Ceci, before you move on, we're not doing like elevator pitches and stuff, but I do want people to know who you are and at least your website, if that's okay.
Sure. Thank you, everybody. I'm Ceci. I own Anytime Travel Solutions and also Belmondo. And Belmondo has all these wonderful products that it will keep coming and be so famous in the future. My website is anytimebookings.com. Oh, by the way, 5K this Saturday. I have a booth and a tent, and I'll have some wine and Italian decorations. There's a 5K for the children. It's a superhero 5K for the children of Friends of the Children of Ribar. So if you're in town, the 5K should be fun. I'll put some information in the chat.
Beautiful.
Thank
All right, Dr. Bob.
Hi, everybody. It's great to be here with you. Most of you know who I am and what I do. I am a chronic pain and stress relief expert, and have done a lot with that in my career in terms of helping thousands of people. So it's really fun to do. And it's become easier and easier as I get older, because I get more involved in what's going on in the world and how to help people heal and what gets people off track. So Dale, I just want to thank you, because Charlene and I met with you for a financial consult the other day, and it was great. And I love the fact that you're so willing to provide your intellectual expertise, and give, it's not exactly advice you give, but it's just painting the picture, and then we can pluck what we want to pluck out of the picture so we can get our own advice. So you don't even have to give it to us. You just paint the picture, and then we can get the jewels for ourselves, So it's a unique thing to be able to chat with you like that. So thank you. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah. So what this group is a great group, and what's going on today in the world has got me just, love thy neighbor is I think the whole world has conspired to challenge me to love everybody no matter what, and that is a tough deal these days, because there's so much divisiveness going on in the world. And just the whole conversation about make America great again, like who wouldn't, say make America great, like America's great. But the thing is, everybody seems to be so careful about what they're saying, it's incredible. So, I'm having to say, is it okay for me to say what I'm saying? I mean, I don't even know who I'm speaking to half the time anymore, so it's a challenge. Love thy neighbor, man. I'm just like, so every text I put out, I got a heart there for love, and and that's how I'm gonna keep doing that. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's a former male boss who is so into chauvinism, let's say. He's gonna get a heart too, and but it's something else to be alive today and with what's going on. And I really am sad. It makes me cry sometimes about the divisiveness in this country, how it's so polarizing. And I don't care, I don't sense unity hardly anywhere right now. And I want to be part of creating unity somehow. And so that's what I'm going to be at work on while I'm working on other projects, creating unity. And this group's a great example of it because, you know, we don't really know everybody's backgrounds and, you know, their philosophies, yet we're here for a common goal. And it's a lot about love, which I think is great. So I'm just going to end there and say thank you, everybody.
Oh, you're one of the most loving people I know. You know that?
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. And it's the challenge though. It's like, wow, it's like in my face. It's like, okay, Bob, take it to the next level and the next level and the next level. So that's my goal. Next level times 3.
Beautiful, thank you. And I just want to say, Bob, I know we're in different groups. In this group, we do want you to feel free to share what you want to say, but I feel like as leaders, we want to remain neutral and inclusive and things like that. So I'm a little more sensitive. I know we're in another group, and I'm like, let's keep it business, and so I just want you.
I was the culprit there.
No. I think it was, you know, one of the things is that you're bringing up stuff that needs to be, you know, you're sharing stuff about health. It just went in a lot of different directions, and we just got to be careful because there's some people in there that just was like, wait, I'm here for business, and this is not what I'm looking for. So I just had to remind everybody, but I want you to know that I love you, and you can talk.
I get it.
Talk about anything, and
yeah. No, I understand that. Just for anybody who doesn't know what we're talking about, I saw this really impressive video by Frontier Doctors. It was a woman who's a emergency room physician, and she was sharing all the information that she was aware of about the COVID-19 experimental antibodies, and so experimental vaccines. And so it was just really interesting because it's, you know, sometimes it's hard to find credible sources of information. So I thought, wow, this is really cool. You know, people should know about this and be able to judge if they think it's credible and if they like the content. And anyway, but then you're right, it was not business at all. So.
And it was funny, and you actually had a doctor in our community that endorsed. I mean, it was really. Like I said, it was kind of a tough call but I was getting feedback from different directions, and I went, okay. But here, you know, please, I'm glad that you shared that. If you want to put that in the chat room, that's great, because
I'll do that if that's okay. I mean, if people want to.
And this is really where I'm at. I don't know where you guys are at, but I like to. I hope that everybody here is open enough to see things, and I hope that they're take enough time to do their own due diligence, because I know that's what I try to do is just receive. And I learned this from my kids. They're 20 and 21, and they would come at me with all kinds of stuff that I was just like, what planet are you on? This is not what I taught you, right? But you know, as a mom, I had to just listen and take in, and some of the stuff they shared with me, I was like, oh my gosh, I would have never thought. But they took the time to do the due diligence and dive deep, and I've just learned that it's you know, here we want to be able to share, and we can all do our own discernment, Bob.
Yeah, and it takes a lot of time to do due diligence on just a simple topic. I mean, and also, you know, there's sometimes the information is very complicated.
Yeah.
So anyway.
I have a little remark on that comment too. As I was following that thread, and I actually watched it this morning. And I will encourage Jerry to listen, because towards the end, it talks about mandatory vaccines by airlines. And there is a petition paper there. I remember they announced a website, right, to have a petition so they don't put mandatory vaccines to travel, because yeah. But I thought about it when I saw this conversation going on, that it was not precisely business. But then I was thinking, well, we don't have a place to go for, because immediately before you did, I go, this is a great conversation for Love Thy Neighbor, but we don't have a place to actually put things for later.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to put some of those pieces together. I know you had something to share.
Yeah. This is another relevant topic, why I'm glad it's done. But can you imagine how many kids are coming home to mom and dad and asking about this, that, and the other thing, and they don't have answers?
Yeah.
with several of the subscriptions that we pay for are very kind of neutral, and in some cases contrasting. Will go through very much like an attorney. It doesn't matter what side you're on, either for or against. Have that debate in an open forum so that people can begin to feel comfortable talking about uncomfortable things. Because Bob, the notion that we've gotten to the point that political correctness is more important than to express what's really on our mind. If it's on your mind, chances are it's on everybody else's mind too.
Yeah.
And shame on us for being so afraid to speak truth for fear of offending someone that might be not so equipped or mature to have that conversation.
Or getting attacked by someone, it can get crazy. It's like,
True.
Yeah.
So nevertheless, that's one thing. But I just on the topic, if I could do one thing to offer you a counter to anyone that wants to mandate any type of vaccine, it goes both ways. If a politician's asking for it, y'all should feel good enough to, when in all of the Congress, every public representative gets vaccines, then I might get mine.
Not me.
If everyone in American Airlines, everyone on the cruise ship, and so on and so forth, all the way up to the corporate top, y'all
Pushing
get
to mandate it. No, don't go
y'all
there.
get vaccines,
Don't go there.
I might consider it. But until and unless you do, as a leader, you got to be willing to do first if you expect people to follow. That's the type of leadership that we should be seeing. Not you go first and then I'll go, but the other way around is really what I'm saying. I'm not saying anti that. I'm just saying let leaders do what they're talking about doing, or shut up and go home.
And you lead by example, you don't lead with words. I was really sad, and because Hank Aaron, I don't know if you know who Hank Aaron is, black man who was the baseball home run king, professional for many, many decades until the steroids took over baseball and everybody got all swollen up and smacking home runs. But he took the coronavirus. He took the vaccine because he wanted to be a leader in the black community, right? I can't remember how old he is. He's probably in his 80s or something. So, he wanted to take it to say this is safe. He took it, and 16 days later he died, And I'm not saying it about the vaccine. It's just so sad because here's this icon who everybody loved. Everybody loved this guy. You couldn't find anybody say a bad word about this guy, and he's gone. So anyway, that's just sharing from my heart that it was really sad.
I'm with you, Bob. I wanted to show you guys one more thing, Bob, before you choose who goes next. This is our Tomorrow Leaders Today. And so in here, you can see that we have some really neat stuff, teaching them about budgeting, how to build an advisory team to help them. This is one of my favorites, how to attract money and team without paying them. There's some really great movies in here that have been included. So this is some of the goodies that we share and go over with the future leaders in that time. So just like we've set up here, we have our own for the young men.
Nice. It's phenomenal. That's great.
Yeah. Bob, who would you like to have next?
Let's see. Mr. Decker, I'm going to pick you.
Hi there.
Hi there.
That's my alarm. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Oh, I thought you were
That's it.
saying hi.
Come on, Paul. You're up.
Oh, and real quick, Dr. Bob, remember to share the movie link in here if you.
Oh yeah, I'll go get that and put it in.
Yeah. Please.
Right. If more about sharing resources and things like that, and some of the things that came up. Well, first of all, can I be a young leader? Because there's a lot of things in that set of categories that I've not seen. I'd really like to learn.
Yeah, me too.
Maybe you can do it for us old guys who missed all those extra wonderful things. This is like a president's book of secrets. Half of the things I haven't seen yet. So and was never taught in school. These are things that were never taught in school. So certainly, I'd like to learn a lot of what those young men are being taught.
So maybe if you sponsor somebody, we can have you sit in with them as their sponsor, like Bob did.
I'll do what I can.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, so we'll see. I'm just coming up with ideas, and
You can borrow your neighbor's kid.
Okay, I'll see what I can do. Maybe I can borrow a couple of my sisters or brothers' kids and see if we can get them in. Is it open to young women as well?
yes, this particular one we help with the young men, but we do also want to support young women too.
The reason I say that is because women have to be prepared to deal with the finances of the families, and they end up with 90% of the wealth that when they've graduated, when their husbands have graduated. So they have to really know all of this stuff too, as well.
I totally agree. However, this is a big however, it's not a but. However, the topic of dating, relationships does come up on a more frequent basis. And the tough conversations that they're not getting with their big brother or their dad.
There are a lot of male conversations that are sometimes not fit for female consumption. That's just the way they are, and I understand that too. So
Yeah, well, and that's why.
Only conversation and some female-only conversations, and they both need to be made. Those conversations both have to be made.
Yes, and so the only reason I'm bringing that up is because unlike a structured curriculum where there's an agenda, this is next week, 1, 2, 3 for 20 some odd weeks and the semester is over, we never get the same people. Everybody's got lives. So it's very destructured on purpose, so as to be very adaptable to the very specific energy that shows up and is the recipe for that Saturday brunch, as it were. So it's as unique as each meeting. It's never the same. It's never the same topic. And as much as I'd love to have young ladies, I might learn a few things myself, but there's sometimes the boys need to have the boys' time, if you know what I mean.
But if you do have young women, let me know, because we do have women within the Business Acceleration Network that already bring young adults together that want to support the women. So if you have someone, then
so it really wouldn't matter. You'll be able to serve both communities.
Yeah, the strongest one is the young men, just because that's been up and running for over a year, and Dale's been really instrumental in showing up as Uncle Dale, and we, yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Great. So I'll go back to the beginning of the video, and I apologize to the people who stepped on earlier, who joined us later. At the beginning of this, we had conversations, and you were reviewing some of the things about how to actually build an information structure for your family in case of whatever happens to you. And I mentioned that you're talking about way more than just a living trust. So that means you're living, but you're incapable of actually dealing with information and service providers, et cetera, and being unable to manage finances and things like that. I've had experience where, and I commented on that, where a single cryptocurrency account may require a full page of detailed passwords and information about know your customer account information, which you have to give to a bank or an online exchange for the owner of a cryptocurrency account before they're even allowed to establish your account. But you need to have all of that recorded so that your legacy doesn't disappear. And in cryptocurrency especially, I know of cases millions of dollars worth of cryptocurrency has become inaccessible because the family never was able to determine what the password to the account was. And so these are like very long 40-character keys that are essential in order for cryptocurrency to work. And so you need that. And this is a principle of the IT world, information technology world. You need your information recorded in 2 different places using 2 different technologies, and hopefully one of them is printed, but it doesn't necessarily have to be printed. And as an example, it can be online in a secure account and offline locally, maybe in a flash drive. But you have to have at least 2 different technologies storing all of this critical information, all your passwords, all and all up to date. And very few people have the discipline to actually accomplish that. But if you set up the system, it becomes easy to update on a regular basis. I do this myself, but I'm one of those rare people who actually does it. But I've been a keeper of passwords for whole organizations. And then you get hundreds, if not thousands of passwords. And because of all of the huge number of online accounts that you might get on the internet. So it becomes a system in itself, just tracking your passwords online and offline in multiple technologies. That's my rant in that regard. And there are ways to simplify it and make that very easy. The next thing I wanted to mention was I really love, Ceci, your the transition from contact to contract, and this is a huge distinction, and it's a journey of trust. Or if you have a contact, and by the way, in the world of professional networking, there are how many different levels or layers of contacts that you can give someone else, or how many different layers of referrals are that you can give to someone else? A quick guess is how many? Put it in the chat if you want. How many different layers or levels of contacts might you give?
I'm not clear with the question.
Yeah, I'm not following the question either.
Right. So, do you know what a referral is?
Yes.
What do you think a referral is?
It's making a connection from to somebody that might need a product or service or whatever it is with another person, bringing 2 people together.
Great. So the level of contacts or referrals goes from, and this is level 1. Oh, you should be talking to Dale. Bob, go talk to Dale. He's my best friend. You go talk to Dale about this. And all you get is Dale. Now you have to figure out, well, that should be enough for you, shouldn't it? There are so many people who all they do is give you a name. And that's certainly not enough.
No.
And so just so that you're aware, there are at least 17 different levels of details from Bob, go to Dale for this information, to Dale, guess what? Bob has this service and you need to buy it now. And you walk in with a check written in hand, I need this service. And Dr. Bob says, well, of course, that's great. So there are 17 different layers of ease and effectiveness of referrals. And guess where I learned all of this? This is in the BNI Certified Networking Program. It took us 12 weeks, 12 days of learning. It was incredibly intensive, but at the end of it, I started to understand how professional networking can be absolutely incredible, and it can be done poorly and it can be done very well. I may not give out very many referrals, but normally when I give them out, I give them people at least name, phone number, email. Those are the essentials, but that's sort of like level 7 or 8. It's not even to the midline. I have to, if I'm going to give a referral, I really want to give a referral that includes, I found out from the person that I'm referring that it's appropriate, the product or service is appropriate, and that the service or product provider can actually accommodate a new customer. So I have to know much more. So a certified networker really knows a lot of things about what it means to give a referral and to literally discover and cultivate referral sources. So you can go to, and you can, this is all created through the Referral Institute. It's an outgrowth of BNI. A lot of the work was done or invented by Dr. Ivan Meisner. You may or may not have seen any of his books, but some of them are really quite amazing. I'll set that resource down, and there's a lot more to research and discover in that. And the last thing that I recommended, the last resource that I recommended, is that we were talking about money. And one of the things that I recall having participated in for several different weekends over a period of a couple of years was called the Family Bank Game. What would it be like if your family became a bank? You mean to tell me that all those fees and services that other banks in the commercial space, all those fees and services could actually end up in an account in your family? Yes, it could. And Dale, if you included brothers, sisters, uncles, aunts, and taught all of them what it would mean to have a family bank, that's what this program was all set up to do. And the website still exists on the internet, and I'll post it in the chat. But if it's something that you'd like to, and I've met the founder of this, and he grew his whole entire program based on some of the work by Robert Kiyosaki and his Rich Dad Poor Dad process. So I'll get you in touch with the founder if you need it. He is only 2 steps away from me. I know a lady, a mentor of mine who knows him directly. We can connect you if you'd like to set up your own weekend edition of the Family Bank Game. We can get that done. But it's a remarkable and different way to look at finances, so that you don't have to go out into the commercial space and give someone else all those fees and services that they're charging you outrageously. So you can have your own bank within your own family. So consider that as an alternative. And if you haven't considered it, it changes the way you look at banking forever. Now, that's it for me. Those are the resources I can talk about,
And who do you choose to go next?
That's what I'm thinking of. I'm thinking on who was here first, but I think it was Paula. Paula, I think you were on first. So Paula.
Okay, and did you have something you want to share real quick?
Especially say thank you, Paul, because what you just said there, while we incorporate that in a lot of the curriculum that we have internal to our family office ministry, on a family by family basis, you said a few key words there on almost game, as it were. I'd be interested in looking at your resource because I've always felt the vision that what Shannon had, particularly for BAN here, not just in Brevard, could be replicated to displace what the SBA SCORE and the rest of these cats have been trying to do for a long, long time. If we learn to bank on each other at the community level, that's powerful. And if you can make that happen, I'd like to review the curriculum and see if we can't maybe connect a few dots.
Because it's actually an exciting educational game for an entire family. I've played it many times. I've been on the logistics team to actually have this happen. And you come out of it experientially with a completely different understanding of the world of banking. It's pretty cool stuff. Really is.
Would you object to a game?
And before I go, I apologize, Paula. I also, you may have seen, I dropped what's called a gains profile in the box hierarchy of things. GAINS. That's another thing from the Referral Institute. It stands for goals, accomplishments, interests, networks, and skills. And that's for the certified networking people, the people very well. And I put a blank template in there as a resource.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'll post the rest of the stuff. I'll be quiet now.
Thank you, Paul. We're glad you're here. Paula.
Okay, so love your neighbor. My gosh. I don't know where to begin on that, but I definitely see, this community here, as part of that. Also, some of the things that I would, like to do in the community that I'm in, um, involves just, creating more win-win, um, businesses or situations or whatever. I keep thinking of the veterans and the folks with developmental disability, and just how much potential, there is with that to, um, create a win-win all the way around. Um, so for me, that's what I really like doing. Um, and I don't know, was there something else I'm supposed to add to that, or?
No, that's fine. Anything that you needed support with, or success you want to celebrate, or anything in the update?
I guess a little success is that back in November, I joined this mastermind group, and in working with that program, I was also paired up with an amazing coach from Canada who happens to be in Mexico right now. But every week we're like accountability partners. And today we had probably the most amazing call that we've ever had. We do this weekly. And he said to me that he was so proud of me for the work that I was doing, and for the insights and the changes, that he could see since we started, which was, it's not very long ago. It's a couple months, right? 2 or 3 months. So I had to sit with that for a little while, because I realized I haven't heard that from anybody for so long that it just kind of blew me away a little bit. So I'm very, very grateful, that the universe paired us up. And so that was a success. I'm grateful, for that. Other than that, my plate is really full. I'm going through the freshman curriculum in ICOBEST, and between that and keeping up with, the modules and everything to go through in the mastermind, as well as just, regular other stuff. It's a lot, but it's a lot of good, it's a lot of good stuff. So I have just been budgeting some more time, I guess, for self-care. I've been having more meltdowns more often. And so I actually have a recording that a lady that I know that plays the gongs, she did a recording that's about a half an hour long. And so sometimes when I feel like I just need to take a break, I just put her recording on, and I have, maybe see in the back of me here, a zero gravity chair. And I'm like, I just need a gong moment, And so that's just kind of one of the ways that I have been, how can I say, oh, bless you.
Sorry.
Releasing just some pent up frustration and all of that with everything that's going on. So that's about it, really.
Paula, I've seen you grow a lot too.
Well, it's
I
about,
haven't given it voice.
it's about time. It's like I'm old enough, right?
I've always thought you were amazing.
Well, thank you. The feeling's mutual. So, but yeah, sometimes I kid about it with some people, and they're like, "Oh, well, what are you doing?" And this and that. I said, "I'm still trying to figure out what I want to be when I grow up." So, because there's so many things, it's really hard to narrow it down sometimes. So, but anyway, yes, I am just grateful. I am in awe of how, a long time ago, a person had said the most dangerous prayer that you can pray is show me. And I say that every day. But the thing is I really mean it, because I know that when I ask that, I will be shown. However, I have also learned to add, without the 2x4, please. Have that experience too. And so I am just so grateful for the way people have been brought into my life, and just yeah, it's so much better than I could have figured out myself. So just very, very grateful. Thank you.
Thank you for getting on the calendar. I look forward to our discussion in a week or so ahead.
Well, thank you. And also to that, I think Shannon said some assistant or somebody was going to send me the chat that for whatever reason didn't save from last time. I didn't. I never got that, but I found another link that I could schedule with you, because I guess what happened the last time is it not only went to you, but it also went to Thomas. And then I got a message from Thomas saying, "Hey, I have an appointment with you and you didn't show up." He didn't say it that way, but I'm like, wait a minute, how did that happen? I made an appointment with Dale, not Thomas, So I don't know how that worked, but I just thought, well, let me try a different link this time, because I didn't want that to happen again, So hopefully.
Whatever you did, I've seen it, and I just wanted to acknowledge that I've seen it,
Okay,
because we've missed, texting or emails a couple times before.
right. Okay, great, thank you.
Yeah, and she did say that she did that, so I'm just putting her contact information in there if you want to email her again. That way she has your email and can reply with that chat if you like.
That'd be great. Thank you. Thanks.
All right, who do you want to go next?
Oh, let's see. Orly.
Okay. Congratulations. Oh, sorry. Congratulations, Paula. I just didn't know if I'd muted myself or unmuted myself. Oh boy. Yes, so amazing stuff. Amazing stuff. Wow, you guys are cool. All right. Big announcement.
Bigger than me?
No, there's nothing bigger than you.
Oh, I'm just teasing.
Oh boy, oh boy. So I am very proud and happy to announce that I am the new CEO of Joyly, which is a beautiful organization to spread joy with CEOs all over the world. Let me share what it looks like to sit in the Joy chair. So I am really excited about this new adventure and a lot of great things to come. This happened only yesterday, so you're one of the few amazing new people that know about this adventure for me. If you go to joyly.com, You will learn more about the organization. I can't believe that I was hired as the CEO, but I am taking it to the next level. I had a great conversation with Dale today. I can't wait to explore what I can do for this organization. I've already done so much in one day. It's just incredible. I can't wait to learn more, to do more, and being a part of another movement is just a part of what I love doing, is being a part of a movement. I know that we are here for a reason and a season and a purpose, but it's all about changing people's lives, and not just saying it, but doing it, you know. And with God's will, I know that I will get the strength and the knowledge and the people that I'm thankful for every day. I'm always thankful for the people and the influencers that will help my success. And whether it's my success or my success helping others succeed is all good. And so I am counting on you to be a part of the journey, because it's all about spreading joy. And I hope that you get to sit and to experience what it's like to sit in this chair, because I experienced it, and it brought me to tears. It was a very interesting experience, and I'm not the one to make you go through it. The founder, Cheryl Lynn, will make you go through it, not me. But it is a very interesting experience, and something that every CEO and school and organization should have. And the goal is basically to have the joy chair replace the timeout chair. So if you think about it, it is really, really cool. And it's not about having people be accountable, it's about people being impactable. So we're changing the conversation, and we're changing everything about how we're spreading this. So it's really interesting, and I'm really proud to be a part of it. I'm excited. That's my good news.
Congratulations! That is awesome.
I know, thank you. I'm excited. So on another note, my only ask, and right now it is the pressing ask, is if you know of a women leader, let me just change this because it's bothering me a little too bright. It was brighting. We have, I don't know if you know, but I do have a publishing house, and we have an anthology book series. It's called The Gift of the Universe. I think we're each of us a gift to the universe and everything that we do. So it's a book series like Chicken Soup for the Soul and all these other book series. And the first book is called The Gift of the Universe Through Women That Lead. We were all put on this earth for a reason. And so we all have a gift in us. And sometimes that gift is not really being appreciated for what it is. And it could be for anything that we do. It's just that people don't know or appreciate what we do. And this one is about women leaders, but it doesn't have to be a leader of a company. It could be a woman of her own household. I just met a wonderful lady who has Lyme disease, and yet a single mom of 4 kids who was able to, on a teacher's salary, take her kids to Europe for 6 weeks and lead the whole family through all that, and do so much, writing a book, doing other things. But she's now opened her house, because now she's on disability. She opened her house to an Airbnb. Her kids are grown now, and now is teaching cooking classes because she learned how to heal her body and how to gain her own strength back. So what a beautiful story to tell women who are thinking that they are not worthy of charging, or not worthy of owning a business, or not worthy of going out there in the world. I think that is just a beautiful thing. And so every woman should be honored by this book. We only have 24 spots, so there's a few spots left, and I would like to fill them up as soon as possible. We are launching it on March 8th. Obviously, International Women's Day. We want to honor women, and obviously that day is the best day to launch. So that being said, if you can help me share this information. I will put the link to the website on the chat so that you can share it with whomever you think is going to be interested in being a part of it, you or someone that you know of, and that would be really awesome. It's called, here we go, I'm sharing it right there, and they can sign up from there. Yes, there is a small investment, but you can see everything that's included: international bestseller, marketing. We have the best PR person doing the press release in all the media outlets, so we can't go wrong. And then we really have an amazing team for marketing this as well. So we are really doing well with all the authors we've had so far. We've made them international bestseller, not just Amazon bestseller. And anyone that knows anything about publishing will tell you that international bestseller is not a trick like Amazon is. So Amazon bestseller is a trick. There is a way to get anyone to be an Amazon bestseller, but there is no trick that'll get you international bestseller in 3 to 6 countries. And we do that. We have collaborators in every single one of the countries that we publish in. So they actually buy the book and make you a bestseller in those countries. That's how we do it. Just really need the help on that. So that's all my ask is, and I'm really hoping to get the help. The next one is called The Gift of the Universe through Financial Planners. And it's going to be published on August 14th. And that is because it's Financial Awareness Day, August 14th. And of course, they are regulated, so they will have to get that approved, of course, and all that good stuff. But still, that's the next one. There you go. I'm done. Yes, Dale?
That might be a good spot for myself. I'm plugging me family love letter that doesn't need to be licensed, because what I have doesn't require a license, just love. I like the idea. And if it's anything like Keith, of course, is doing, I've heard what he's doing in Clickety Clack or Knick-Knack Paddywhack or something. It's really, I get it. It's cool. My question second is, because that's August is a ways off. Are you looking for like association leadership centers of influence in terms of who do you know leader women, like national
It could
business
be
owners?
anyone that is a leader that wants to spread the word, that wants to be, even if they don't have another book out yet, or they want to be a published author, or they want to be an international best-selling author and have that credibility without having their own book out yet. Such as the lady that I introduced, that I just spoke about. Those are people that are the perfect fit because they don't have it yet. They're not ready yet. They're not ready to invest the big amounts yet for getting such a big project out. So that would be the perfect fit because it'll get them out there. They will be published. They will be a part of a big anthology book as well, and give them the credibility and all the marketing possible for whatever it is that they do. They get a page that is all about their information, their bio, their picture, and we do something extra, and that we will share with the authors. There's a lot we do.
So I have relationship with a few, I'll just say presidents of certain women business groups.
Yes.
Florida Chapter Novo, for example, a few other executive women's groups. If you think that would be a good fit, I just need something to copy and paste. Saw this on a thing, was thinking of you and your ladies, perhaps in any interest, please get.
Exactly. They can go directly to the link. It'll explain everything. Everything is written. Everything is explained. Everything that's included. All of it is there for them to read. Everything. It's all in the link. You just have to say, hey, this is an anthology book I thought you would be a good fit for. Please check it out. And if you're interested, just click on the link. And you don't even have to copy me on it, just in case they don't want to and they're not interested. I've had many people do that for me, and they just, share it, and you never know. So we've gotten people like that, through other organizations.
Okay.
Yeah, please share the link. That's really all it is.
That's all I really needed to know, is just if it stands alone, it looks like it says all.
It is. It stands alone. It's beautiful. And they get automatically a response of what's the next steps that they need to do as soon as they, yeah, there you go.
Mhm.
Yeah, and we discussed today, another thing that we'll be adding is how to really leverage this to grow what they're doing. So part of like Orly has paid for PR services and press services and things like that. And so we open that up. I hope, is it okay I'm sharing this, Orly?
Of course, and also we will add it there because now we just need the verbiage that we need to add there, and we will do it immediately. So if you can send me the little, the sentence or whatever it is that we need to put there, we will put it there. And and this is all the people that are involved in the publishing. They've all been from publishing. They came from publishing. So Natalie and Snehal, Snehal owns, so it's two publishing houses getting together in collaboration, and they've all had multiple hundreds and hundreds of best-selling authors. So they've come from big time, and they're just a part of the team now. And we have a full marketing team. We have everything in the background.
Could you also, I think the official word is a swipe. I don't know if that's it or not. Is there something
Yes,
that I could put on my LinkedIn profile, for example, and highlight up there? Because that's a big list for me too.
okay.
But I don't want to have to rewrite or
No, I
overthink.
can do that. I can put something together for you to just copy paste and just send it out. We have that in our kind of a newsletter format, and I can send it to you, and you can just copy and paste it.
That'd be
It's all
great.
there.
Perfect. Thank
Or
you.
I'd really,
What, honey? Sorry, Paul, I didn't hear you.
I would love to have that too.
Oh, perfect. I will definitely send it to you. Sure. Hey, Paul, did you get my card? He's in Canada, so I don't know if he got it.
No, I did not get a card.
Okay, because my friends in Canada got him, so you should get it any day now, because I've been getting calls now.
I don't
It
know.
took it took forever. I mean,
Whatever.
even my brother got it like after 4 weeks.
Oh, okay. Well, it may come.
So Jerry, real quick before you go, thank you, Orly. I just want to tell everybody it's David Dunworth's birthday today, and if you haven't wished him happy birthday, there's
We
still
have to
a chance
wish
to
him
do
happy
that even tomorrow if you wish him happy birthday. Also in the state of Florida, Randy Fine has passed or in the process of passing a bill to what he said was help clean up the waterway. But when you really look at the bill, I have a great video I'm happy to share with you guys, but pretty much the bill is it appears that they are passing a tax bill where you can buy a water filter. So rather than cleaning up the waterways is what is being showcased on the media and what they say they're doing. He's saying, oh, buy from this company who I guess funded some of his campaign, and they'll sell you a water filter. And then we'll do that as a break for you. So there's some interesting things going on. I just found out that our governor has places where you can scratch out on bills on our website. So if you're in Florida, and especially if you're in Brevard County, please go in and check that out and see. There's just things. It's being painted to go some way, and I was so disappointed because I love Randy and I love what he's doing, but when you get into the bill, they're not cleaning up the waterways. They're basically saying, Ceci, you can get a loan to go get a water treatment, and then you have to pay it back. And if you don't pay it back, then it's going to lien against your house. And
Yeah.
that's not really solving the problem. So we just, we need to read our bills is what I have learned the last few months, is that everything they're saying and painting
They're all
the picture is
they're always backwards. They make sure the wording is legal, but it's completely deceiving. So
Yes.
if you can share that link, I'll appreciate, Shannon, about the
Okay,
word.
great. And then so just end on a positive note, David Dunworth's birthday. And Jerry,
Yeah, it's way too late, but no, I was a little bit lost because I missed the first part. Do you have a recording?
yes, we do. Yep, and it'll be in the
I'll
box.
have to watch it.
Yeah, and this was a good one. We did a recap of a bunch of stuff. And it's
Right,
also on
because
Facebook Live, Jerry. So we stream it on Facebook Live, so you'll be able to see it there too.
Okay. You know what
I'll
happens in
tag you.
the fourth Tuesday of every month, I have the ABWA, so it's gonna happen every time, every month.
I'll
So I
tag
don't
you.
know how to get around that. So anyways, I started my day with you. I'm ending my day with you. But, you know, I this morning, but I need to stop. We lost my mother-in-law 2 days ago, and I have to go
Oh, I'm sorry.
talk to my husband about funeral arrangements and all that. So I really have to go, but I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm doing my classes. They're almost ready to be launched, and the French and the Spanish, and then and my business venture with Market America. So I'm working all day, you know. So and Ceci and I, we both did the Tony Robbins the last few days. So that was also very good, very uplifting. You know, he had a special session for that he was gifting to the world. So it's very powerful. Anyway, sorry, but you know, yeah, I don't want to keep you back any longer because I'm gonna have to sign off. Orly, congratulations, all
Thank
of you. But I was lost in the conversation because I didn't know what the first part was.
Print out the family love letter. You might just need it, and somebody else in the family, and pulling everything together in the next 2 weeks.
Right. Okay, super. So
Yeah,
I can go.
that just helps navigate it in the box. It's really
Right, but
helpful.
the recording I'll find where.
I'm going to tag you right now on Facebook, or you can
Oh.
find it in the box. But I'll tag you right now, and then we want to make sure that everybody saves the chat. If you do the 3 dots in the chat and click that, and then just hit save, that'll save it right there.
I did save the chat. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
And I just put those last 2 videos on the water deal here in Brevard. So if you saved it before I put those, you might want to resave it.
Okay. I see. Yeah, I just now saved it. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Jerry. We'll keep in touch. Orly, I just wanted to clarify. I look at the web and everything for your book, the new book that you're needing people kind of soon, and it is people with a great story or people that are authors.
Just women who want to be published and tell their story, leaving a legacy. This is about sharing their gift with the universe.
So that they don't have to have a book published.
No, this is your chance to be published.
This is the chance to be published and be an international known published author.
And the what is Nancy's group? Will not that be
WPN? I've sent them an email. I've sent an email to everybody in there, giving them an opportunity.
Because they have a lot of women in there that hopefully you get there.
Yeah.
Do you have any connections with the eWomen Network?
I don't have a connection with them personally. No, I know of them.
There used to be a chapter in Brevard, but they don't no longer.
Yeah,
so.
there's one in Miami. I know of them. I've been invited to speak there.
I don't have more resources there.
That's okay, but I appreciate the effort, definitely.
Thank you. Let me save the chat before.
Okay,
yeah, I always
take us home. I love, Paul said, I just want to make sure this gets on the video. Google the Read the Bills Act. Can you do just a minute on that? Because I know we're way over time, but I want to.
Paul, you're in Canada. How do you know so much about the United States?
You're muted though. You have to unmute.
And he has a Canadian hat on. I mean, this is hysterical altogether.
Hey, I have dual citizenship, right?
Oh,
so
really?
I can talk with my Canadian hat on.
I can't wait to have mine. Are you kidding? This is not fair.
Well, if you want a Canadian hat, I can get you one.
No, I have a Canadian hat. I have a Canadian passport. I just need my American one now.
Oh, okay. Well,
I'm working on it.
That's okay. I won't talk to you about all the issues I've had.
No, don't tell me anything. I'm on it. I don't want to hear any negativity.
Read the Bills Act was promoted by a nonprofit organization that I found out about 2 decades ago, and they're still in existence and still working hard to get congressional approval for the Read the Bills Act. The problem is that flies in the face of our highly controversial environment around Congress, where everything happens because of, what are they called? Those people who sit there in front of congressmen all day and try and push their agenda. What are they called?
Lobbyist?
Filibuster.
Pardon?
Lobbyists.
Lobbyists? Yes, there are about 35,000 official lobbyists and only 350 Congress people. So for every single Congress person, there's probably at least 1,000 organizations trying to push them to lean one way or another. And what gets lost in the whole process is we get, I don't know how many hundreds or thousands, tens of thousands of lines of new laws and regulations every single year to tax and limit and cause markets to lean one way or another. Every year. It costs American taxpayers billions of dollars every year. Where if people actually read the bills, they would find all the hidden clauses, all the gray areas, all the 100 layers or 50 layers of gray on every different law that's sitting there, all the earmarks, all the things that happen under the table, all the negotiated stuff, because that happens all the time, every day in Congress. Most people never read the laws. So if you read the laws aloud, it means that the laws have to be way shorter because you actually have to read them. And they have to be able to pass the audible test. Will people listening and watching on TV say yes or no? And it would transform Washington politics, but they haven't got enough support in Congress at any time in the last decade and a half to do this.
Thank you for bringing that up. I will add that to my list of great things to share.
I will get the nonprofit who helped this cause moving forward. I'll post it next time.
Okay, great. Thank you, Paul.
Very quickly, do you guys notice that my glass never goes down? Seems to be replenished by some issues. I can't believe I'm still having the same glass all night.
It happens to me with coffee in the morning.
I need to get him a coffee warmer. One of those things that you're done. All right, you want to have any closing remarks? I love you guys. Thank you for.
Oh, did you know? Oh, by the way, did you know? Yes, I actually ran for Congress and got 4.5% in my district on a budget of $400.
No, I didn't know.
Cool.
Yeah.
Things you didn't know about Paul.
I'm very efficient. Very efficient. Anyway,
right.
that's a whole other part of my life. We won't even go into that.
Well, posted in our Love Your Neighbor cloud, probably not tonight, but by the end of the week, are some additional SBA resources around COVID. This is not the Triple P issue. This is not some of the other small business assistance. This is new stuff that is SBIC and some other SBA COVID specific programs. Doesn't apply to everybody, but it's worth being aware that there's more stuff out there under the, shall we say, the new and revised stimulus plans that are just now coming into play. And additionally, I'd like to spotlight this woman right here for doing so much in her county in Loving Your Neighbors, because I know personally she's responsible for more than 200 grand of assistance in one form or another that many of this county where she lives and makes, her way. There's others that are benefiting, be it grants, Triple P, and other forms of assistance. And I think it's a great way to love neighbor wherever you're at, because every municipality, every county and region has their own set of stuff. They're trying to give away money, and there's not enough people with the buckets to catch their share. It's unfortunate they've had a year to get ready and still don't have a bucket to catch the rain. And it's pretty sad. And it just comes back again to, success is about when preparation meets opportunity. And until and unless some of us can actually predict what's going to happen, it gets back again to be prepared for the thing that could happen. Hope that we need the bucket in this case when it rains, and the other stuff in case of emergency. If it doesn't, we're still ahead of the game. So please, 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 if you're not into one form of assistance or another, you think that's all there is, I'm letting you know there's more. There's a new guy in charge, and he's, as quickly as some people were leaving, he's changing and the like. So please, please, please look into where you work, and let us know the next time around if you uncover something and somebody could benefit. And I'll have a few more things in our box here shortly.
You're halfway out of the screen. Get to lean over a little bit. There you go. Like this. I'm like, wait, come over here so they can see you.
We are used to see one eye. I'm kidding.
Awesome. So thank you so much. Yes, there's money everywhere.
Raising.
We just, we have a hand raise? No, that's if I want to raise a hand.
Oh.
There, I raised my hand. I put down my hand. Raise my hand. Put down my hand. All right. Thank you, Paul. There it is, downsizedc.org.
Yep, read up all about it. They have about 14 or 15 bills that will blow your mind. They are really good.
Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Look forward to seeing you guys in a couple of weeks. And if there's anything between now and then, if you save the chat, there's our schedulers, and hopefully you put your information in there so we can connect with each other, but also we can connect in the box. And with that,
Contact information.
we'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Or Canadian or both.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye. Love you guys. Congratulations, Orly and Paula.
Thank you, Paula. Bye,
Thank you.
Paula.
Bye, guys. Have a great
Thank
night.
you.
Good night.
Bye.